The store has moved. All the merch is now at store.ymhstudios.com.
Oh, don't cry, little girl. It's another episode of the Roach Motel. Welcome once again. My name is Josh Potter. Thank you for rating and reviewing and subscribing on all the iTunes or wherever you listen. That always helps. Please continue to do that. And thank you for all the wonderful feedback and submissions to Roach Motel at ymhpodcasts.com. Before I introduce our very first guest here on the Roach Motel, because usually I go solo dolo, but today we have a very special guest. Before we get into that, I have my shows I want to let you know about. This is a new instrumental from Ike Tyson. It's called Beacon. Thank you for submitting that at roachmotel at ymhpodcasts.com. But I'm going to be, this week, by the way, is the big push. Sunday, I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, and that's November 15th, Stand Up Live. And then 2 days after that, November 17th, I'll be at Zany's in Nashville. And the day after that, Huntsville, Alabama. I'm coming to Stand Up Live there. So again, 15th, 17th, 18th, Phoenix, Nashville, Huntsville. The tickets are on sale. Get the links in my bio of my Twitter at J_Potter or on my Instagram at Josh_Potter. And this is the week, baby, so let's go. Let's get those fucking tickets and rock and roll. So let's get into my guests, shall we? Welcome, by the way, to the great Tom Segura. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It says here you have many Netflix specials.
Thank you for reading my bio.
No problem. It also says here that you're married to a comedian. That must make home life very fun.
It is nonstop laughs at home.
I bet that's just those things. You haven't done one of those in a while, have you?
It's been a minute. I actually was talking to Tony Gonzalez about the equivalent for him.
Which is what?
I said, like, as you ever have somebody, because what that usually happens with for me, meaning when they go, hey, so you have Netflix specials, is after you were told someone really wants to have you on, and they're like a huge fan.
Right.
And you're like, well, I'm only, I just got to town, and they're like, yeah, will you do this press? So they really
they
love
make
you.
it sound like they asked for you specifically.
Yeah. And so then you're like, okay. And then they go like, so tell me about comedy. And you're like, what? Like, what do you mean?
You thought they were a huge fan, so you were expecting some.
Well, it's not even that I was just hoping for like a more meaningful conversation. And I asked him if the equivalent is somebody, they're like, they really want to talk to you. And then you get there and they're like, so it says like you played in the NFL? Like,
you are a tight end, it says. Tight end? You played?
What do they do? Are they on defense?
Were you more of a blocker or a catcher?
Yeah, he's like,
I kind of broke records. I'm a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I'm one of the best.
Literally the maybe best tight end that ever existed.
Yeah, in this game.
No, those shows, I haven't done any of them. They don't ask for me, funny enough. So that's been nice, I suppose.
Do you realize what a good thing that is?
No, I think it's fine. I would go on them, but I don't think they would welcome me back. You know what I mean? I think you've opened the door. You and guys like Norman have opened the door for, like, when you go on there, just do what you do, and then they're gonna realize real quick, probably shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, yeah. Especially like
I don't do well with middle-aged women.
Yeah. And that's who's hosting those shows
all the time.
Yeah.
It's wild.
There's a couple that are great.
No, there's always some outliers for sure. But you're here on a very special day. We're getting close to the holidays.
I'm very excited.
Thanksgiving is approaching, and Arby's, we talked about this on a previous episode, has a new deep fried turkey sandwich. Do you go to Arby's often?
No. I have not been to Arby's in many, many years.
When's the last time you've been to Arby's?
I don't remember.
And do you even remember what you ate? Arby's was like a thing in my house.
It was a staple of growing up.
Yeah.
So I do remember it in childhood.
5 for $5 beef and cheeses.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was pretty much always roast beef, right?
Yeah.
The roast beef sandwich.
Well, now they're getting into other meats, my friend.
Deep fried turkey.
Did you know that Arby's has the meats? That's their slogan.
Yes. Who does the VO for them? It's a recognizable. Is that the Ving Rhames? Is that who that is?
It might be. It's definitely
meats.
a deep voiced African American.
It is
gentleman.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the meats. So yeah, they have deep fried turkey. I mean, and I went over these numbers.
I want that gig, by the way.
A voiceover?
Well, that kind where it's like a national chain, and then they're like, you know what? You just don't have to. You just do this.
I always thought it was bullshit as a guy who was at one point attempting to do voiceover work.
Yeah.
That they would just get John Krasinski to do like a car commercial, and you're like, fuck him. You don't even show his face, and they're paying him like $3 million. By the way,
they still. I was just up for a campaign. I won't say which, but I went through this whole thing, and I'm like, you know what? Aren't they just going to give it to like a huge A-list actor? And they're like, no. And then that's who they gave it to.
Yeah. So fuck you, Toyota. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, that's
actually the slogan.
Yeah, no, fuck. That was what your your audition.
Yeah.
So Zolo has the sandwich, by the way, and we've got a couple
Is it
to
warm?
try.
Can it be warm?
Yeah, it's warm.
Didn't we just get it?
We just got it.
No, but it was 10 minutes ago. It was out here. You just got it.
Nah, it retains that heat.
Okay.
You can tell them to warm it up. I still can't. They tell me to warm it up.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I mean, so Zola, bring it on out. I'll go over these numbers with you here.
Yeah, when you say numbers,
yeah,
are we talking about what it costs for the sandwich or what's in the sandwich?
This is what's in it.
Okay.
This is what it's this is the like calories and the fat. I don't know anything about these numbers. Could be space numbers to me. You know. So which is which, by the way? What did you just hand him?
That's the cranberry one, and that's the club, I believe.
Oh, you got to go. So they're both different. So I have the numbers here for both.
Okay.
Cranberry. Right there.
Not warm. Go ahead.
820 calories.
It's
Is that up there?
I mean, for a sandwich.
Yeah. What should it be? I mean, like, what's a good amount of calories?
I mean, I think it just, if somebody's probably like, hey, I want to stay healthy. And I'm really health conscious.
Educate me on this because I've no fucking clue.
I think a sandwich probably like in the 300 to 500 range is probably what they're looking for.
Well, I've got news for you. That other one without the cranberry sauce, 540. So a little healthier for you.
A little healthier.
Now the fat, 33 grams.
That's up there.
Yeah?
That is up there. Yeah.
That's big?
33 grams of fat in one serving is a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sodium, 1,180 milligrams.
That's through the roof.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking carbs, 84 grams.
Lots.
Yeah. Okay,
you just fucked your keto plan for sure.
Oh yeah, I don't imagine it's keto.
God damn. Does it tell you anything else? Is that it?
That's all I got I mean, and on it we have, and this is where I've come at a crossroads of if they're really gonna go full bore with a Thanksgiving sandwich, they need all the Thanksgiving things on there.
Stuffing.
They fucked up. They have turkey. They have cranberry. They need to put fucking
Should I crack these
potatoes.
open?
Yeah, crack one open.
Okay.
See what's on it, because it's like the cranberry one is cranberry sauce, deep fried fucking turkey.
Oh, it's split for us.
Oh,
Great.
look at that.
Lovely.
And
it does look
bread.
like
it's on a regular bread.
It looks like Mommy made it and she cut it in the middle for us.
Oh, that's tomatoes. Gross. This looks so gross.
I don't think it looks gross at all.
I'm not attracted to it.
Let's see. That's good.
Yeah, I guess.
You got some shit on your beard.
Of course. I don't want to eat.
Here.
Zolo, you're eating it, right? Eat for me. That's a... You have to give me the review. I like it.
I mean, look, it's a turkey sandwich. It looks like just a turkey sandwich.
But it's heavy duty, so like it's like you could just make this.
Yeah.
And save yourself all this damage.
Here's where it is. Look at me.
I'm still got it?
Over here.
Oh my god.
Other side of your face.
I hate
There you go.
food. Fuck food. It all turns to shit.
This actually feels more like a homemade sandwich.
So you're like on board with this.
This one, yes. This one is completely like.
Well, there you go, man.
This feels like a deli sandwich.
Yeah, but all that caloric intake and all that kind of stuff, like what's in there that's doing that?
I don't know. I mean, bread, turkey, tomato, lettuce. It doesn't seem that crazy.
Well, enjoy it then. What's this guy look like?
That's the other one. I don't know what that's the.
This one has a see now. This one has the roll.
That's the club. It has bacon on it too.
This one had bacon too. They both have bacon.
Oh, okay.
So there you go, folks. I mean,
but
take a bite of that one and see if it's better.
All right. If you force me. This feels heavy. This feels like a fucking softball. Like this feels.
That
like
looks
a lot.
like a goddamn bowling ball in your hand.
Yeah.
I mean, that is crazy.
But okay, let's see here. All right.
That one's the gross one. That's the one that's got the fucking 820 grams of fat and shit.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Where
did you feel your veins tightening?
definitely.
Yeah.
And then when like your spouse is like, "You're gonna die," you're like, "It's turkey."
It's turkey.
Yeah, that's what like every fat dad across America.
That's the
says
meat
to
they
his
go to?
wife when she's like, "This has so many calories." He's like, "It's turkey."
It's not pork or anything. It's fucking turkey. Relax.
Those are both delicious. That's fucking amazing.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. We're out of the bewitching
do this
hour, by
every
the way.
week?
We can make it a thing. I don't know. I don't understand these numbers. So that's why I wanted to see like them in person
Yeah.
and get a because you watch that.
I
shit.
have to say-
you like literally watch that shit when you're eating, right? Like you're like, how many is this? You count them and shit.
I mean, I'm not always into that degree. I would say if you told me, like, these are your options, I don't think we should eat either of these.
Right.
I do feel like these don't seem
As bad
to the
as
naked
they,
eye
yeah.
or anything. To what like I would not believe that these have that. in
These
it.
numbers.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Arby's doing a
I mean,
nice
don't you
job
agree?
cloaking.
Did you guys have them too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
Zolo's
good.
eating it, right? Do my review for me.
What do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot.
But doesn't it seem like it's not as crazy as like a like a fried chicken sandwich or a big
Or like a
crazy
burger?
Definitely not, because like it's called the fried turkey, but I get it's just like the little outside crust that's kind
Yeah.
of fried, you know?
How does this thing match up against like a Big Mac and all that? Did
I
you-
think it's more. I did not compare, but
What?
if you could pull up some of the nutritional facts
understand.
of a Big Mac, I believe it's more because
I
it
don't
was like this
understand.
article, the way that they were talking, and I'm like, that's why I had to ask: is this a lot? Like this is part of me educating myself on the world. I also don't know. There you go. There, the Big Mac is 563 calories. That big one is 820.
fucking A.
So that's crazy. It's all the other shit on there. I don't I don't like eating. I'm learning. Like you just housed that sandwich.
No.
Kind of. I mean, comparatively. But we're out of the witching hour, so we don't have to talk about fucking sandwiches anymore. We can get into the real shit. What do you say? Let's get into the sports, baby.
Can I ask you one thing though?
We have to listen to the theme song. You were saying?
One thing I don't understand at all is not loving fucking food so much.
Well, like
How do you?
I'll tell you exactly.
Okay,
We're going to dinner tonight,
right. We're going to a really nice place.
and I'm going to enjoy that experience.
You will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like eating that bite of that sandwich, I feel like affected my experience later already.
Really?
Yeah. Like I look forward to like a good meal. This meaningless eating 3 times a day where we have to just keep
Is it
doing it.
meaningless though? Is it meaningless because of what that is? Or-
Everything. It's the act of it. It's putting it together. It's deciding
act
what
of
to
it.
eat. Yeah. Like just taking time out of your day. Like you have to fucking just stop and eat something like because we're so weak that our bodies require food all the time. It's fucking stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, like, I'll go, this isn't deliberate. I'll just be like living my life. And then all of a sudden I go like, man, I gotta like eat something, you know? And then I'll eat something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't fucking want to. I didn't stop and go, you know what? I want to eat something right now. You know, this is like, ugh. And then I have to pay for it. You know what I mean? Like, and then you have to physically consume it. And then you shit it out. It's just all stupid.
This is wild, but okay.
People say that, but I don't know what to tell you. It's just the way.
No,
that I go.
you know what?
But I love Thanksgiving. I love like when
You
we
know-
go to a steakhouse. I love that. Like
You do, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I'll
tonight
eat, like,
you're gonna show up hungry.
Well, yeah, and I'll eat a steak and I'll eat a side or whatever. I'm not gonna fucking eat you under the table or some shit.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no.
like a
But I mean, you're gonna
psychopath,
enjoy
but-
it. You're
Yeah,
gonna-
of course. Yes, 100%.
All right.
So yeah, there's that. But that's just I have wild opinions of food. I've been told, and so that is what they are. But we are in the sports section of the show.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
How dare you, for the record? But no, I'm just kidding. We were together in Oklahoma City, and we got to see like, I don't know. Every time I'm on the road, I can like pinpoint sporting events to moments on the road. Like I remember when like Syracuse beat Clemson that one time we were in like Indianapolis, stuff like that. Just weird moments. I don't think I'll ever forget this time because not only did we have the World Series, and I came off stage and saw that insane finish to Game 5 where it was like the fucking Arozarena came flying down the baseline. The finish was insane. But not only that, we got to watch this as well. This moment will never leave my memory. And it's the video of Daniel Jones. If you haven't, Nadav, I should have told Nadav what it was. We have, by the way, for folks at home, Ennie has been absent. If you haven't noticed already, he's sick. He's ill. Did you know Ennie's ill?
I did, and we got confirmation that it was not COVID.
Right. No, we know it's not coronavirus, but he's still sick, so he's out today. So we have Nadav filling in. But here it is. If you missed it, Daniel Jones.
Because this is when we were in the green room when this happened.
Right.
Yeah.
It happened on Thursday Night Football. Here it is. Daniel Jones on about the 7-yard line, taking it down the field. Here he goes. Oh, my, he's going. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He could go. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, gee. Oh, God.
And.
Oh, God.
I mean, that was absolutely humiliating. Where they were like, I mean, this guy.
And the announcers, by the way, were not kind.
No, and neither was the interwebs.
Well, the internet, it's never kind.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it was the longest play from scrimmage that they've had in like a few years. And the longest rung by a quarterback in,
for the Giants.
Yeah. And and you know what that is. Like, I think everyone's probably done that where you get tripped up, but you start going like, oh my God, he took what should be this crazy shining moment,
right?
And just like
it's like missing a slam dunk or anything like that. And
they didn't score on that drive. I remember.
No, they did. They scored 3 plays later. They scored on that drive.
They did.
Mm-hmm. But
I thought they didn't score.
No, they did. They scored. Because I watched close. Because if they didn't score, I was gonna laugh my fucking ass off.
Oh, right.
Them. But they scored like three plays later, I believe.
A touchdown.
A touchdown.
Okay.
So it worked out, and it doesn't haunt him very much. But I mean, like, good God, like you said, we've all had moments like that. I feel like I've had it more like with girls almost, like where it was like a slam dunk and you fuck it up, like you trip at the 1-yard line with a girl.
Oh, I've done that many times.
You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And it's like glaring, but that on a national stage where you know
God.
that, could you imagine, like, I don't even want to, I'm going to throw my phone in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Before I even like fucking look
Imagine
at it.
his text message. I mean, and they won. Did they win the game? Right?
No, they didn't.
They didn't win
lost.
the game.
That's the problem. That's where it kind of.
That's where
they could have won the game. I mean, you never know with timing and the way things.
When I was in high school, our best athlete who played major college football and probably could have played in the league if he wasn't completely
addicted to cocaine.
Yes. He in a game that I'll never forget the moment. We're on defense. He scooped up a fumble and ran it to the wrong end zone.
Oh my God!
And he's such a good athlete that we were like trying to catch him, and we were like, "Nah, you're in the game." Like,
no. Yeah, that's so. And he's like, "What?"
Yeah,
he's doing fucking high stepping and shit. That's hilarious.
And we couldn't catch him. Like if he would have been a worse athlete, we would have just.
You would have tackled your own guy. That's so funny. Yeah. Now you played obviously as a child. Are you gonna let your children play?
Yeah.
You're psyched about it, right?
Totally. I mean, here's the thing, I'm not gonna be these are the sports you have to play guy.
Right.
That's lame.
Except.
But football, you don't have a choice, huh?
You have to play football. Yeah. That's your fall sport.
Right.
What if you're like, Dad, I like soccer?
I'd be like, oh, really? Well, do you like living outside? Because that's where your new room is.
Would you be proud if this was your kid? Take a look at this video.
Let's see.
What are we setting up?
We're talking about kids playing football, so the video of the kid playing the football would probably...
Yeah.
I thought I made it clear, but I guess I didn't.
Sure.
Any would have got it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. See, now I'm fucked. I can't be like you guys. Busting balls. Okay.
I see Tristan. I see all these little guys. I see all these big guys. Just rising up and doing everything they got. Let me tell you, when I saw Cole get angry, I want to see all of you do that. Because if you do that, you're determined to the game. I'm not saying be one person, be you, but also have passion.
Yeah.
Be determined. Be this team. Be a maverick. And when we get on that field, let's show the Cisco Lobos how to be a maverick.
Yeah.
That we can beat them on their home field.
All right, now he's getting a little lengthy. Wrap it up, kid.
For goodness sake, play the snow and still beat them.
All right. What do you think about that kid? Would you?
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah, right?
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so upset.
You would be upset if that was your child.
Definitely. I'd be like, don't do that shit. First of all, think about I have to sit here and look at these other people, and you're embarrassing me. Okay?
Now I have to sit in the audience with the other parents, and they're like, do you see fucking old Segura over there rallying the troops?
First of all, if I was a kid, we would all be like, hey, man, like, we would pull back and be like, we got to get him off the team.
I bet you that kid doesn't even play.
Of course.
You know he doesn't play. I'd be proud if this was my kid. Check. Let's see this version.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing a bunch of big boys out here finna fuck today. As we all know, there's only two people in this world. People who get fucked, people who fuck. When I look across that sideline, I'm seeing a bunch of wet-ass pussies waiting for some big old dicks. Let's get it, boys. Let's get it, boys.
Yeah. Now, if that was my son,
different story, right?
You know you're going to be in the league, right?
Yeah, you're Dion, baby.
Dude, that's
prime.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between those kids.
Yeah, of course. And also, like, that kid, I mean, look, it's a kid, I know, but he has kiss-ass energy. He has, like, apple to the teacher vibes.
Yeah,
you know? Like, he's always early and saying the right thing. It's like, come on, man. Are you a...
And you know the coach loves him, and he's like, get him going, Tristan.
Yeah.
Get him going. And you're like, fuck.
Who are we? I always hated those sentimental type of
I don't
speeches.
like she getting rallied up like that either, where it's like, on 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're like, boo, and you have to do whatever the chant is. I'm always lackluster in that.
I mean, 1, 2, 3, I was cool with a breakdown if it was like, you know, I don't know, if it was kind of like authentic, led by somebody on the team who you gave a fuck about, and it was like win or whatever it was. But like that rah-rah shit, like look deep inside yourself and ask yourself, who do you want to be? What's our legacy? Shut the fuck up.
What about what if they brought God into it?
The worst. And by the way,
let's do what the Lord put us on the earth to do today.
That's
what I do before every show, for the record.
We had God. We had a God. One of the coaches would like he wouldn't like lead with it, but at the end, all right, let's get in a quick prayer. Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
And then we had two. I'm talking about high school level,
right?
But we had two guys who were both played major college football, and both were pretty religious. And so when they're good players on your team and they're into that, you kind of have to just like, you don't have to be into it, but you got to go along with it.
You're like, no, yeah, the Lord's great.
You're like, yeah. And
God
like,
is great.
And like the kid who was like the best was like, you know, God put us here. And you're like, oh, fuck, man.
Like, yeah, praise be Jamal.
You realize that like half this team smokes weed, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you all got a girl pregnant last year.
Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
What are you talking about? Well, next up, and I've tried to avoid this, but we have our queef of the week.
Queef of the week.
That's not an actual queef, though, unfortunately.
No?
I've tried. We've gotten some submissions. I want to put a real queef in there.
Why can't we?
You know, ladies, I want an organic one. People have sent in, you know, some porn stars and things like that.
No.
I want your wife, your sister, your mother. You, if you're out there, ladies, I do have another. I want to.
Yeah, or your mother. I like that.
Yeah,
that's
any
good.
of them. Yeah, this one is a natural one.
Let's see.
Queef of the week.
That was a real one.
That was a real one?
That was a real deep queef, right?
Wow.
Yeah, that's something. But I try to avoid giving this moniker to the same guy I've given it to twice already.
Yeah.
But Colin Cowherd just loves being queef of the week, man. I don't know if it's because I live in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Or if it's because he's legitimately the queef of a lifetime.
He might be. What's the latest?
Well, yesterday he just posted a 10-year-old picture of Tom Brady to troll Bostonians and be like, he was never yours. He's like, it's him in the old 2007 photo of him in a Yankee cap. Again, like he's just rehashing that. He's like, he was never yours, Boston. He's beyond you, blah, blah, blah. And it's just trolling Boston fans, which I can get on board with. I'm not against trolling Boston fans about stuff. I'm not exactly a huge Boston guy. There's the picture right there.
Sorry, Boston. Tom Brady was never you. He's just conformed, amazing, smart business, savvy supermodel wife, Yankee fan. Cool, evolved, personal brand. He's aspirational, not provincial. A nice condo on the Cape is not what he's about. What?
Yeah, it doesn't even make
So
sense.
wait, is this in reference to something he did?
This is just in reference to Tom Brady to try and.
But I mean, like, it wasn't like something had happened.
No, there's nothing that's happened other than, well, this is what I was going to bring up. I feel kind of weird because Tom Brady, now that he's in the NFC, it's almost like he's a different person. Like, I'm almost like looking at him differently now that he's no longer the bane of my existence.
Let's also point out one thing, though, and like, this is not a matter of opinion. No. This is a fact, what I'm going to say. Yankee hats do not mean you're a Yankee fan.
Never do.
A Yankee hat is a fashion choice.
It is.
They are, whether you like it or not, it's like an I Heart New York shirt. It is just like, it's a style.
The Yankee symbol is Versace or something, or Gucci or whatever.
It's exactly right. It's a brand, and like, first of all, I had Yankee hats at numerous times, all because of the colors, the look. Like, it goes with jeans and a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't follow baseball.
Right.
Like, the idea that he's like, see the hat.
And they do that with every team, for the record. They make every baseball logo in every color.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it becomes less about that's why I don't wear a Yankee cap, because I don't want people to assume that I'm a Yankee person.
Right. I understand
But I'm deliberate about that.
Right.
Because I don't want to be associated with, that'd be like me being like, I don't want to be a member of Gucci or whatever the fuck. But no, totally get your point. But right now, Tom Brady is letting Antonio Brown live with him. Do you know that?
No. What?
Yeah.
That's a bad choice.
Is it, or is it like the best way to go about this whole thing?
I mean, I guess if you're like, this provides the best chance to keep things together.
Right. But think about his dedication. He's 42 years old. He's won 6 Super Bowls. He's a bazillionaire.
Yeah.
He still wants it so bad that he's inviting a psychopath to come live with him so that he can throw it to him a little bit, as opposed to like Mike Evans. It's not like the receivers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are lacking.
No, it's an amazing
But that's how hungry he is to continue his legacy beyond the New England Patriots, that he is willing to do this.
He's clearly, I mean, I didn't know this, I just learned this, but the idea that he's doing it sounds like, people involved are like, look, we get the skill set, but there's just, there's so many variables in this guy's personality and what might happen.
Well, Bruce Arians,
what if he lives with me?
Well, that's probably because Bruce Arians came out and was like, we have no intention of signing Antonio Brown. And then like Tom Brady was like, Bruce, we're going to sign him. And then Bruce was like, whatever you say, Mr. Brady. And then he went back on the air and was like, we're signing Antonio Brown, turns out. And Tom had nothing to do with it.
And he's going to live with him.
Yeah, but he's living with him, which is crazy. I mean,
you think they're meeting at the breakfast table and shit in the morning?
Dude, I think he's tucking him in and shit. And he's like, night, AB. And then they kiss on the mouth. He's kissing him on the mouth. Yeah. That's probably like house rules. He's like, under this roof, tongue.
You think the Brady kids are like, Dad, there's a black guy on the roof.
That's AB, and you go kiss him on the mouth. Like he's your uncle.
But he's doing that thing where he's spitting something into a flame and it's making bigger flames. Like, yeah, it's how he relaxes.
It's AB, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
AB did some wild shit. He did, dude. The 30 for 30 is what I'm looking for. Where it's like, I remember when, and I think we talked about this at the time, with sports and certain storylines, sometimes you're deeply involved in it, like you really follow it closely. And sometimes it's kind of, peripheral, like you're just like, oh yeah, I remembered AB signing with the Raiders and being like, oh, he's got this like $29-30 million guaranteed, and
well, he didn't sign it; got traded to them.
But the deal, I'm saying,
yeah,
right? Like, of course, there was the deteriorating relationship in Pittsburgh.
There was 9 hours when he was a Buffalo Bill,
and I didn't remember that even
because he was traded by the Steelers to the Bills, and he went, nuh-uh, no, I ain't going to Buffalo.
And then
so they vetoed the trade.
Okay,
and then they traded him to the Raiders.
So I remember like.
He's the typical guy that's like, I'm not going to Hooters and Dave and Buster's and shit in Buffalo. No fucking way.
Right.
I want to go to a real city.
I want to go to a real
city.
Take
me to Vegas kind of shit.
Right.
That's what his attitude was. So we were.
But
like,
I guess right before that, when it was the breakdown of the relationship in Pittsburgh, without being like really dialed in, I think as an observer you go like, oh, this is just like diva receiver shit.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm not getting the ball enough. People are talking about Juju.
There's an up and coming
guy.
Like,
fuck this. And you're like, oh, he's just being kind of a diva. And if you're not real dialed in, you're like, we'll see what happens. And then you're like, oh, he signed with the Raiders. You're like, oh, that'll be cool. Good for him, whatever. Crazy contract. Yeah, look, he got what he wanted. He'll do some crazy numbers there.
Because not only did he get traded to the Raiders, he then signed an extension.
Big one.
Yeah, and that was where the big money came in. And then, obviously, released weeks later.
But the breakdown, the meltdown in
public
seemed like it didn't make any sense. I was trying to figure out
why it was happening.
And what I was missing. I was like, I'm definitely not paying enough attention.
Right.
So I was like, I remember it was like a helmet thing. I don't want to wear this helmet. And I was like, then the feet was like he got frostbite in the cryotherapy
chamber, yeah.
And I'm like, this is all what? And then it started to unravel more. And I was like, am I not understanding something?
No, yeah, you weren't. You weren't understanding that he's completely mentally ill.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was the morning of a video that I think he produced where it was like, now let's play football. Like, let's get all the and I go, oh, so all this was maybe like a publicity thing to get people talking about it. I got it. And then it was like that the next day they were like, no, we're releasing him now. I was like, wait, what?
Which is crazy. And then Tom Brady saved him and he came to the Patriots. But then he got fucking arrested or whatever. He had problems with the law, and Bob Kraft don't play that, even though he has his own issues with the law.
Yeah.
And so they got rid of him, and Brady has been trying to get him back since, ever since, which is insane.
And we're leaving out, just for someone who doesn't know, a whole bunch of little crazy details.
Right.
Of like
cops showing up to his house,
tweeting crazy shit. And
videos of cops on his lawn randomly that don't make any sense. You don't know what context of it.
All of it spoke to something seriously mental is going on.
Yeah. And now Tom Brady's like, why don't you come live with me in Giselle?
My favorite was in that time of leaving Vegas, signing with Patriots, and all the chaos.
Right.
I was on his Instagram a lot, seeing what he's posting. And I just remember in the comments, so many people were like, damn, AB playing chess, not check. I was like, what? And I was like, is this chess?
Well, there was a moment where it was like he was failing upward because he went from the Steelers to the Raiders to the Patriots, the defending Super Bowl appearing Patriots. And that was seemingly where you were just like, why does it all have to work out all the time for the Patriots and for So you had that feeling, but then it blew up in their face, which brings me, by the way, to another thing that we often talk about when we talk about football players.
Yeah.
And that is which ones have the cleanest and the dirtiest assholes.
And this is such an interesting topic for I still first want to say that when you first brought this up to me, I had never considered this, and you really opened my eye. I feel like it's when you take someone to a restaurant and you go, oh, you've never had white truffles on your...
You haven't lived
on your fettuccine, or you know what I mean, is parpadelli, and you're like, no, and then they try it and they're like, oh my god. You go, hey, have you ever thought about which position players have the most neglected buttholes and which of them have the most pristine? I go, I've never even thought about this.
Well, because the way that I got to thinking about it was our buddy Leal Collins getting his asshole eaten by a Throatzilla.
Yep.
And not
our
paying
friend
her for
Throatzilla.
It. Yes, and not paying her for it because he's a bad person, Leal Collins. And
that is an especially...
Well, he's an offensive lineman, so this is what got us on the
disrespectful
topic.
thing to do, though, to someone that ate your ass.
Especially one that you solicited the services of.
Yeah.
You don't just do that. There he is right there, stiffing our girl Throatzilla. How dare you, Leal Collins?
And what do you think that butthole's like?
Well, that's what brought us to the conversation was I said, Throatzilla, who has been with many an athlete, I thought, is Leal Collins perhaps the worst caliber of asshole that one could eat from an athlete? Mm-hmm. Being an offensive lineman. And then it got us dissecting the positions of which ones. It's like, a receiver, a diva receiver's got a clean, tidy asshole.
Yeah.
It led us down those roads, you know, deciding the positions. There's a couple positions I've got written down here that I think are toss-ups.
That you don't know which way it goes.
It could go either way, depending on the personality.
But I think diva, you're right for the receivers.
Yeah, QBs, receivers.
If you had to leave here right now and go eat some player's asshole in the next room.
I've got a list.
You're probably going receiver, though, right?
I got a list. Yeah, they top my list. DeAndre Hopkins would be the asshole I'd eat the most. Can we see DeAndre Hopkins, folks?
No, that's a nice ass.
So
because he is you got to get him off field clothes because this is a guy that buys purses.
Yeah.
Like for his dog and shit. Like he dresses like Paris Hilton.
Yeah.
When he's out in the streets.
Let's see him on street clothes.
I know he's got dreads and shit, but I'm telling you, that shit is like.
There you go.
He also had a pretty hearty dick pic get leaked, and I tried to take the bullet for him and be like, no, that's my dick, and then he blocked me on Twitter.
His dick pic got leaked? How'd it get leaked?
I don't know, but I tried to help out.
Is his face in the shot?
No.
Oh.
It's just his dick, and I was like, nah, that's my dick, dude, and then he blocked me for that.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Whose ass you eating?
Was it pretty small?
No, it was great. It was a fucking. I mean, I didn't have anything to. There wasn't like a Volkswagen next to it, so I could measure. But look at that guy.
Yeah, but for the record, just to be clear to the listening audience, and also to D-Hop, he'd be number one on your ass eating list.
Yes, he would. Stefan Diggs, number 2. 1A, 1B situation.
Got you.
Can we see Stefan Diggs?
Yeah.
Stefan Diggs had a great quote the other day. He was like, "I'm not a notebook guy, but I do some true romance. I'm a savage though." And he was pretty. Look at him. Fuck, he's got that clean ass.
Yeah, he's got it clean. Right there, looks like.
No, that's a nice ass.
That face right there looks like somebody just saw his ass, said that, and then
he was
he's
like,
proud
"Yeah,
of
that's
it.
right.
He's like, "Yeah,
You
it is
right.
pretty clean."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You got a clean ass over there, or do you want to go dirty?
Tell me, I think dirty. Yeah.
You want to hear about a dirty?
I mean, I know I told you my number one dirty one.
I don't remember who you said.
Oh, Trent Brown.
Trent Brown.
Yeah.
From the Bengals? Is he from the Bengals? I don't remember.
I guess he's on the Raiders.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. Can you do?
And now, was there anything in
can you do
particular?
street clothes for that?
Was there anything in particular that made you think? Because I have one that is my all-time worst ass, probably.
Well, here's the thing about this dude. He's 6'8", 365. And I just think that means your ass is a wreck.
Well, I think I got you beat with somebody.
So I just think that, like, he's a big, kind of sloppy dude. I mean, he's really enormous. I just think that he's not.
You think?
Damn, that ass is stinky.
Yeah, I bet it's a stinky ass. I think it's a stinky ass.
I do have a lineman that I think can beat yours.
Okay.
And this is an offensive lineman on the Pittsburgh Steelers named Aaron Gibson. Listen to these numbers.
Yes.
6'6", 410.
Yeah. Did he play at Wisconsin?
Did he? I don't know. The number 78 looks like it's 18 on him. Like it looks small, like across his body.
Look, he played at Wisconsin.
He did, yeah. Look, oh my God. Imagine sitting down and having that turkey sandwich.
Dude, that ass is a disaster.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
Is that him? That's
no
him with
way.
the shirt open?
No fucking way.
Is that
Did
really?
he get ripped?
Is that a 400-pound yoked dude?
Oh my God. Maybe his ass is. I mean, shit. He probably has a deliberately dirty ass, because that's another variable to this that we haven't discussed yet. Is the player's attitude and how they play, I think, would lend one to believe, like, I keep this ass dirty on purpose. Because if you're going to eat it, you're going to fucking eat it, and you're not going to like it on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, no, this ass has to smell 24/7.
Now, there are some, like, anomalies also. Like I think Keenan Allen, though a receiver, badass.
You think so?
Yeah, like dirty ass.
Damn, that ass is stinky.
Yeah, I mean, is like that shot right there?
That beard has something to do with it.
Yeah.
And plus his, like, again, he's got that, like, rah, like, I think he was like, I want my ass to be dirty.
Right, like it's like a
move.
The more aggressive the nature, it's almost like you associate it with a dirtier asshole, right?
Right. That's the thing. Like, and that goes for the lineman situation, because we had an argument one time about offensive linemen versus defensive linemen, and I ventured to say that defensive linemen have the dirtier assholes collectively because they are in the more aggressive of a position.
Well, let me ask you this, 'cause I think that's an interesting analysis. A lot of people in the league say that, hands down, the most aggressive, violent, some say dirtiest player in recent times in the NFL is defensive lineman Ndamukong Suh.
He was on my list.
And I'm wondering if you think his is really dirty.
Oh, yes. He was on my list. He was on my list of scary assholes, for sure.
Yeah.
He was definitely high on it. Top 3, probably. Good luck writing Ndamukong Suh there, Nadav.
Yeah.
I wanted
Yeah,
to,
that
I
one's
kind
a little rough
of
for me.
wanted to watch him do that for a second.
I think. How are you spelling it?
Dominic is the first name, right?
No.
Indomitian.
Nadamekin.
What?
Indomitian.
Exactly. Now
the
try
letter
to spell
N.
Sue.
Uh-huh.
The letter N, D. It was auto spelling it for you.
Got it. Holy shit, yeah, I would have never
Damn,
fucking gotten
that ass is stinky.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now on also the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too, right?
Yeah.
Jesus. They really fucking stockpiled.
He's played a lot of places.
Yep. Drafted by Detroit. Him and Aaron Rodgers still jawing at each other. I love that.
The stories that I have about him, I'm not allowed to share.
God, can we do a podcast with him? He's going to retire soon.
Yeah.
He'd be the shit. He talks so much shit. I fucking love it. What do you think kids, like your kids are going to play football, right?
Yeah.
What kind of shit talk do they do now that they can't use gay as an insult?
I think they just go with the F word.
Is it the other way around though? Like they're just like, you're a fucking homophobe. Fucking homophobic loser. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's
Because
fascinating?
it wasn't about calling a guy gay. It was just the words. We just had more words to use.
Yeah. The fascinating thing about having little kids is I have, and living in this age, in this era, so I didn't need to be told this. I just knew, like, when your little young children are drawn to something, you don't do the 1950s dad thing, right? So in other words, like, kid goes, I want this pink shirt. You go, yeah, of course. They go, I want to draw or paint things that you would.
I want a doll.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, you go, yeah, sure,
I want to wear a dress.
fine.
I want to cut my penis off.
Let's talk for a minute.
Yeah. That's where
So-
that's a conversation.
But I'm just saying, like, anything he wants to watch, anything he wants to do activity-wise,
Right.
I never
You encourage
dictate.
it.
Yeah, whatever the gender of it is, it's fine. On their own, they do this. Meaning, I go flipping through the channels, through the movies on the Disney Plus, and I go, "Do you want to watch this? No, you want to watch this?" And we get to Frozen, and I go, "Do you want to watch Frozen?" And my 4-year-old goes, "That's for girls." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm like, "What? Like, how do you?"
Yeah, where do they even come up, especially in today's world where they try to, I would assume, shy away from that as much as possible. Almost like
Yeah.
they would shove it down your throat.
And I thought, like, how does a 4-year-old who hasn't heard, like, certainly not from us, like, this is a girls' movie,
Exactly, yeah.
like, say that? And he says it for, like, toys and activities. He's like, that's what girls do.
it's
I
just
wanna go-
permeating his
Yeah. He's like, I
being.
want to go, like, he's like, he said that flowers are for girls.
Yeah.
And I was like,
He'll be calling kids gay in no time, right?
yeah, I think so. And then he took a plastic bat and, like, beat up all these roses. Like, just trash. I was like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Your kid's going to be so fucking funny. I mean, the combination of you and Christina in one human being is almost frightening.
Yeah.
But,
He is. I mean, they're both pretty funny. But my older one is definitely saying the wildest shit. Yeah.
it's got to be so much fun.
It's pretty fun. I mean, it's pretty fun.
Do you have to apologize to, like, other adults around when...
Well, luckily, they're home a lot these days.
Well, yeah, that's true, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and also,
Has there been a moment, though, where you've had to, like, go, like, I'm sorry, my kid said ball sack or whatever, like, to another adult human being?
it hasn't quite gotten there. What's alarming to me is how my older son is so confident, like, where that's comforting, but you're also like, oh my God, like, we walk down to, like, a little coffee area, and someone will be like, oh, hi, young man. People see, like, kids, and what's your name? He'll be like, I'm Ellis. What's yours? And they're like, oh, I'm Joe. He's like, what are you drinking? I'm like, what are you drinking? And the guy's like, coffee. He's like, is it good? And I'm like, he's like, not like most kids, kind of
shy.
Yeah. And he's like, all right, well, good talking to you, man. And
That's hilarious.
Like, he's like really, really confident. Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, I've seen it too, and it's really interesting. Like, as they get older and shit.
Yeah.
My fucking sister is having another kid, and it's just wild to be able. I mean, I'm not there, so I don't get to, like, see it in person, but just in videos and everything like that, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But speaking of kids, I have to make an apology real quick about last week's episode. I have to apologize. Last week we talked about costumes, different offensive ones. Votto coming to the plate. We showed this one of a little girl, quote, Holocaust costume.
Jesus.
0-2 the count. Turns out this was a depiction of Anne Frank
Oh.
Did not remember Anne Frank. So I have to issue an apology. There's Votto with a liner. Left field, that's going to be easy for the right field. Anywho, yeah, that's Anne Frank. What do you think of that costume right there?
Well, I would never
assume it was Anne Frank, right?
Can you make that bigger? Like so
even the Jew
details?
in the room didn't know that was Anne Frank.
Well, I don't know why. I mean, does it say something on that badge?
Well, that's what we were like last time we were sitting here going like, I think that's a Girl Scout outfit. I would never think it was a Holocaust victim. That's what they called it, by the way.
Well,
victim, not survivor.
It doesn't look like a... I would never associate it with that.
Right. Or Anne Frank for that record.
And like if you look at the old...
photos.
The photos from the, the theory that there were camps. There are... In those manufactured videos, there are uniforms that people are wearing.
Specific stars and things like that.
Things like that I would think would...
lend themselves...
Yeah, exactly. The striped things.
You don't need to see this propaganda.
Yeah. And then, like,
Have you been to Anne Frank's house?
I've heard that it's there.
No, you haven't been to it, though, in Amsterdam? We didn't go. We were in Amsterdam together. We didn't go.
No, I'm all good on all that stuff now. We did a family reunion in the year 2000 of like my dad's siblings and all their children. And like I'm talking, so he has 3 siblings, they all have kids. We all got together in DC and we went to the newly opened Holocaust Museum. And that was a family venture.
Yeah, of course.
And we all left there incredibly depressed. And I also feel like with that experience, the number of documentaries and scripted
dwindled.
Films, I think I'm like, you know what? I understand the horrors of this. I don't want to be exposed more.
I'll tell you this. I went to it in a time in my life. I was 23 years old. And I went to the Anne Frank house, and I went up in it, and I thought, this isn't that bad.
That was your thought?
I have a smaller apartment than this, is what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
I go...
Did you voice that?
I mean, it might have been in my body language where I was like, this is it? Like, this seems pretty... This would go... I mean,
how long did she stay there?
Nadav? Any idea? But 416 days or something like that? Am I wrong? I think it's 416 days.
And then was she sold out by somebody? Like, did somebody tell on her? Is that what it was?
You're asking me.
Oh, sorry.
Ron, I'm not a historian about it.
Fuck.
761 days. So that's 2+ years. Or well, it's not quite 2 years, right?
And how did she get discovered? Do you know?
Actually, I don't. We didn't really cover it.
He doesn't even know who Anne Frank is. He's like, Anne Frank? Oh, she's Jewish too?
But are you of the also, like, you don't need to see more documentaries?
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff is kind of a bummer,
Kind of.
Yeah. It's a bit of a bummer.
Slightly depressing.
You know what I found depressing, though, was that my apartment was smaller, and, nowadays in quarantine, we might be in there longer than 761 days. Who knows?
Maybe.
The one thing is, though, Nazis aren't marching outside trying to murder us.
It's a slight one.
Yeah,
slight
that's a
difference.
slight difference.
Yeah, I can't even though I watch all these crime, shows, the one topic that I'm like, I don't want to watch it. No, like any genocide. So I was watching one of these crime shows and they were like recapping Rwanda. I was like, I'm good. I don't need to watch that again.
I can't tell you how I am the exact opposite.
Really?
The true crime thing, I'm just bored with. It's just like one death here and there.
Yeah.
A genocide is really something.
It's too brutal. It's too emotional.
It's too emotional. See, I detract it. It's almost like the personal killing is too emotional to me, whereas just murdering an entire ilk of people is like completely emotionless.
What?
I mean, because it's just a whole group. You're not putting emotion into it.
And like the footage of those things?
Oh, obviously those things are emotional, but I'm saying I'm just saying in terms of like, if you're going into the head of a psychopath, don't you think a one-on-one kill is more personal than killing a group of people?
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, like it's very personal to like go stab one person, but like the footage they have from Rwanda and Cambodia and even going back to the Holocaust is, you're just seeing like kids and families and somebody with like a bayonet or a M16, they just mowing people. Like I don't know, man. I go, I'd rather watch the first 48 than that.
Murder.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, you were really getting into there.
Call me weird.
You were really getting into that.
I got a soft spot for genocide. Yeah.
I mean, you were really describing some things over there. I was all like, oh boy. Get it out, ladies.
The vibrator?
That's a hit tot, yeah.
Okay.
Because they love murder, girls.
Yeah, I don't know how, I bet you they feel similar way for genocide.
Maybe it really revved them up. That's what I'm hoping.
I didn't mean it like that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Anywho, I have a fun game we can play.
Yeah?
It's called This or That.
Okay.
Are you excited?
I am. I don't know what it is. I'm
Okay.
excited for a game.
Okay, you can't show the pictures to Tom until I've posed the questions, and then you'll get to choose from the two pictures.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So out of these two gentlemen, say it's a Sunday, Christina's made dips, you're having people over for football.
Okay.
You have to choose watching a football game with one of these two gentlemen.
Okay.
Who do you pick?
All right. I guess Stalin.
You guess?
Stalin.
You're just gonna make, because we've talked about the Holocaust so much, you can't possibly enjoy a football game with Hitler.
I feel
Don't
like.
you think Hitler would be more like into it?
Nah, I just feel like I kind of have this no Hitler house guest policy.
Oh, that's it. That's the sticking point.
I think so.
He might come over and you might rub some people that are other guests the wrong way.
I think a lot of people would be like, we got to talk about the fact that Hitler's over right now.
Like, Hitler's a guy that you can see him across the room at a party and go, that's Hitler. Stalin, you can go like, is that
him?
I don't think it is. It can't possibly
I think you're
be
right.
Stalin.
Yeah. And I also feel like look, Stalin, not a chill dude.
No.
But I feel like I got a couple drinks. I'd go,
That's the thing.
this is an American game. I know you're not a fan of us, but I hope
Well, that's what he'd be talking about the whole time. He's like, Russia could do this shit so much better.
so much better. We have more.
And then you'd be like, you
better
guys don't have
athletes.
any black people. And
Exactly.
You'd be like, well, that's part, Then Hitler would come in and be like, yeah, I know. And then, but no, I think Stalin would be into football more. Hitler's like artsy fartsy.
Artsy fartsy and kind of fey and
Yeah. He'd be like, what are we watching? I don't want to do this. And I'd be like, get the fuck out of my house.
Yeah, and then I'd be
Because
like,
he doesn't like football. Not
hey,
because
Nadav, can you bring the popcorn? And he'd be like, who's this man?
how dare you invite me to such a party? Okay,
You
well,
have Yulden everywhere here?
all right. Well, next opportunity.
Yes.
You see these two scallywags at a bar.
Okay.
Which one do you bring home?
Okay, hold on.
Well, nope, not this. We're on the wrong, because you picked the wrong question. It's the one with the
My
ladies.
eyes are shut.
The
My
one with the
eyes are
ladies.
shut.
That's the last question. There you go.
Am I ready?
You're ready. Go for
And
it.
I'm saying, who would I bring home?
You see these two? These two are eyeing you up at a bar.
Okay.
4 a.m. You're like dick's hard. You're gonna fuck something.
Okay,
You don't care what you put it in,
got you.
and you got to pick between these two.
It's not even a question.
It's all based physically, right?
I mean, it's so easy.
But I venture
Okay.
to just throw in. Just to play devil's advocate. Susan Smith is ride or die.
Explain.
I mean, the guy that she was with, all he said was, "I don't like your kids," and she drove him through in a van into a lake.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty. All he said was like, "Your kids kind of annoy me," and she was like, "Well, we don't even have to have them around anymore," and that's what happened.
I'll just drive him into a lake.
Yeah, Casey Anthony just did it on her own,
Yeah, like Casey Anthony scares me.
but in a fun way.
Yeah, and I think she's legit hot. And and I feel like that's what she would do. Like that face right there is what she would do when I was like, will you eat my butt?
That makes me feel empty.
She'd
That
be
face,
like-
yeah. You eat my butt. She's like,
Mhm.
But Susan Smith, that's a nice. Would you eat my butt face too?
Kind of.
Where
but,
she's like,
But you got like as the great Patty Stanger says, you gotta let the penis do the picking.
True.
And so my penis is kind of pointing to the right now.
I only want to just put on your radar that Susan Smith's picture is from the 90s. I feel like we look back, like they're probably the same age in these pictures,
Yeah.
but we look back on like the 80s and 90s and like people look like they're 50 years old, but they're like 28.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, who would you pick there?
I think Susan Smith is more game. I know
Wow.
Casey Anthony's the obvious choice, but I think Susan Smith is like fucking insane. And like in a way where she was like, eat your ass. I was going to like,
What does it say, like in the quote there? You see how it says like, there's a quote next to hers? It says, isn't there like, there was text next to it?
I didn't see. I'm sorry that I killed my kids, probably something like that. I'm sorry that I drove them into the lake.
Yeah, like if you just click it, does it say?
No, this was the article that I was clicking on, and
It just goes to a video.
Okay.
Well, we have one more.
It says no. I am right there.
What does it say?
I don't know. I can't read it because it's small.
I am not the monster.
Oh, well, that's I knew
I
that
am not
already.
the monster society thinks I am. I am far from it. Something went very wrong that night.
See?
What went wrong? Brakes. I got bad brakes.
The lake was in the way. I mean, the GPS. No, they didn't have that then.
Casey Anthony's like up and free, moving around.
She's just like, yeah, I'm trying to make another one.
Yeah.
You know? Do you think, would you blow up load in her, Casey Anthony?
Well, yeah.
I mean, now that you're blowing loads, let's see a hot picture of Casey Anthony.
Oh my God. Can you do Casey Anthony 2020?
I can definitely have my mind changed. I just thought Susan Smith would be more fun to fuck.
Let's see.
Casey Anthony, I've had sex with crazy women like Casey Anthony, not maybe necessarily murderers,
Right.
but just the empty eyes, nothing behind them kind
That's
of thing.
an old picture. Is there a modern one?
And they don't do it for me. They don't move the needle when there's like emptiness back there.
So you're saying like when they're crazy and
Yeah,
empty.
you can tell when you're not like connecting
Yeah.
and you're just like hitting a wall every time you're like supposed to make that leap.
Yeah.
That makes me like so soft.
I got you. And that also speaks, by the way, to the fact that you're probably not a sociopath.
Is that true?
Yeah, sure.
Well, thank the Lord.
Yeah.
I hope not. Well, speaking of sociopaths, say you have to sit on the bus for 6 hours. Which one would you want to sit next to? Which one of these guys that you'd make friends with? Who would you make friends with first?
Okay. Tell me when to look.
You can look now.
Who am I going to just chat up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they sit down and it's like, they got some. Both of them have like different varieties of stinky food on the bus, probably.
I think the
one's got hard-boiled eggs. The other probably some other stuff. We don't know what it is.
I think the conversation would probably start more naturally with Tim.
Yeah,
I think
Why?
so.
What makes you say that?
I don't know.
Because you're both the same.
I'd be like, hey, did Thunder win last night? Like, I think it would kind of.
Tim McVeigh and I would get along famously because he's a Bills fan.
Right. There you
So
go.
that's what, I mean, that would be my pick right there. I could talk 6 hours about the Bills to any psychopath.
Yeah, I mean, he would see your hat and be like.
Wouldn't it be crazy if Bin Laden was a Bills fan though too?
Like,
he's like,
he's like, the only good thing about your God-forsaken country and all the demons that possess it is the great team. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I just picture it being like, the greatest atrocity your government has pulled was letting the Bills lose 4 Super Bowls. That's when I knew I had to take them down. But I think
Bin Laden, people you forget because like he's such the face of evil.
He's a charming man.
Charming, intelligent. Knows you could have had a conversation with him probably about a lot of things.
Dude, if you were to just read a transcript by Osama bin Laden versus Timothy McVeigh and just base it, just reading and their education backgrounds.
Yeah.
You would think it was like a child was versus a Rhodes Scholar. I mean,
really?
Their educational backgrounds are Tim McVeigh he went to fucking Starpoint High School and that was it. And then he washed out of the Green Berets. And Osama bin Laden went to real Western universities.
Yeah.
Educated money, the whole
big
shebang.
money.
Big money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Big Saudi money.
Yeah. So he went to like legit schools and shit. So
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That one's a toss up for me.
Yeah.
I don't know who I could tolerate for 6 hours on a bus better. But again, the Tim McVeigh one is just an easy answer for me.
I mean, here's the thing. I actually think I would get along more with bin Laden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too.
Because I see Tim as being like one of those weird guys that I avoid now. Like if you go, like if he's not this, who he is, but just like you take his personality, he's a guy who you just are like, all right, man, like I got to get away from this guy.
That's the thing. That's why I would revert to Bills talk. But other than that, I would want to I'd be like, this fucking guy is.
Yeah.
But then Bin Laden, I bet you'd be like, you'd get off the bus afterwards. You'd be like, he's pretty chill.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be like OJ, where you're
and
like,
Bin Laden would be like, do you want to like, you want to see how you can live in a cave or something? And you're like, yeah, okay. And
his cave's probably is pretty dope.
it's probably pretty dope. And then he was probably like, have you ever held a rocket launcher? And I was like, no. He's like, we have 6 here.
He's like, you want to hold a severed head while in a picture while you do it?
Yeah.
He's like, this is the journalist right here. You want to hold that while you hold the rocket? She'd be like, shit.
He's like, here's the cool thing. It's a Jew. I'm like, all right. Wow.
You haven't even seen the special heads yet.
Yeah.
No, he's yeah. I mean, it'd be one of those things where you go like, he's a nice guy, but he also tried to ruin our country.
By the way, a very interesting guest segment. I think it's a really this
or that you enjoy.
This or that's really good. Yeah.
All right, a keeper. That's brand new to the show. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Anytime you bring in a guest, I think you got to ask them this or that.
This or that. I didn't have a pithy intro or anything like that, but it is dramatic and it is insightful to see what that they would decide. Do you think guests would be turned off? I'd like to get like Rachel Reagan here and then ask her those type of questions.
I think some people, I think a good number of people would have a dramatic pause at some of those this or that.
Well, that's good. I want them to think about it. You know,
Yeah.
There's got to be some suspense.
Ooh.
So,
That's good.
Yes, but thank you, Tom, for being the very first guest of the Roach Motel.
I had a great time.
First check-in guest, legitimately. I think we're going to get some more down the road, which will be exciting.
Very excited for you. Congratulations on your show, and yeah, I look forward to coming back, hopefully, and watching and listening as you do more.
Yeah, me too. And I want to remind everybody, by the way, my shows. Do you have anything you want to plug first before we get out of here? I mean, this whole thing, you got. All the things you want.
I would say, like most of all, I just want to plug, if you've been at all following our live shows, YMH Live. We've been doing those once a month, and this comes out next week,
Tuesday.
So yeah, YMH Live number 3 is coming out
in
November 20th, and it's going to be. You can get tickets at ymhvirtual.com, and we have Danny Brown, Mark Rebier, and my sister Maria.
Oh my God, Maria.
Oh my God.
And of course, this week I will be on the road for once. Holy shit. Yes. I'm going to be in Phoenix at Stand Up Live on Sunday. Tickets are on sale for that. Tickets are also on sale for Nashville. I'll be there on the 17th at Zanies. On the 18th, I'll be in Huntsville, Alabama at Stand Up Live. Please, please, please get your tickets at J_Potter on Twitter, at Josh_Potter on Instagram. The links are in the bio. All good. And please rate, review, subscribe, continue to do that. And thank you once again for coming to the Roach Motel.
Roach Motel.